Hello everyone, it's Eric from Coffee, Beers, and Bowties, and I'm here today for another Suit Up and Brew Up. I'm super excited about today's brewing session because it features coffee of our very own. I'm excited to say that we offer 3 incredible coffees. One from Ethiopia from the Guji region, one from Colombia from the Weir region, and one from Mexico from Chiapas. And they're all incredible, but today we're going to be brewing our Ethiopian coffee. So of course this is a Suit Up and Brew Up, so I had to come with it today, right? It's been a little while since I've done one of these, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't disappoint. So first thing we want to do is highlight today's ensemble. We'll go from the top down, and here I have on my black brim, and this is a Stetson. This is from Stetson, and of course I have on the flower or floral pattern tuxedo, all right, with the pink shirt with the black vest to a complement. Of course I've got my pocket square right there, and then I have, of course, I have my bow tie from the Bow Style, which is one of the announcements that I would like to make. Coffee, Beers, and Bowties has partnered with the Bow Style for us to be able to sell and do a collaboration of some of their products on our website. So as you can see over my shoulder right there, which is stacked up pretty high, is I have a collection of premium handmade bow ties from the Bow Style, and those are going to be available on our website. If they aren't on our website now, as you guys are watching this, they will be on our website really soon, like within the next day or so. So I'm so excited. Shout out to my brother Wallace, who is the CEO of the Bow Style, for having the confidence in me and in us to be able to partner and do this collaboration so that we can definitely get the word out about how wonderful their bow ties are. Well, so of course I had to finish with the suit. So you see the suit, all right, and then the shoes, which you guys will be able to see the suit really in its entirety on the images on Instagram, but the shoes are from Stacy Adams, and this actual suit is from Barabbas Men. So shout out to all the different fashion labels. I'm definitely excited to have this ensemble on. But before we get into this brewing session, I'm going to lose the hat, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I just didn't want to brew coffee with the hat on. It kind of gets in the way. I don't want you guys seeing the top of the hat as I'm trying to brew the coffee. All right, so the other part of our brew up, not only are we brewing our own Ethiopian coffee that we roasted, we're going to be brewing today on the AeroPress. Thank you so much, AeroPress. Coffee, Beers, and Bowties. Second announcement is that we are an authorized retailer for AeroPress. So excited about that. So on this shoulder, you see I have some boxes of bow ties from the Bow Style, and then over this shoulder on the table I have boxes of AeroPresses. So today is all about the Bow Style and the AeroPress and in our coffee. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this brew. So I'm going to do a pretty simple recipe when it comes to this with this brew. I'm going to do 14 grams of coffee with the 1:16 ratio. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our water heated to 205. I like 205 using the AeroPress. It works really well for this particular coffee. And again, that's just a 1:16 brewing ratio. So we're going to go ahead and get the beans measured out, and then we'll go ahead and get started with this brew. Okay, well, let's make that 15 grams of coffee. So we're going to do 15 grams of coffee at a 1:16 brewing ratio. And we're going to go ahead and get our coffee beans into the grinder and ground it up. All right, now that we have our coffee grounded and our water heated, we're going to go ahead and start with this brew. So we're going to take our coffee carafe or container, and we're going to sit that on the scale. We're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the cap and the plunger. So for this particular brew, I don't think it's necessary to rinse the filter. I know a lot of people like rinsing the filters inside of the AeroPress, but I tend to not do it. It doesn't really change the flavor of the coffee to me because it's such a small paper filter. So I just go ahead and install the paper filter without rinsing before I start my brew. So once you get your filter in, you're going to go ahead and take your filter, your cap, and reinstall it. So normally what I would do is I would do a inverted brew, but this one I'm going to do it the traditional way. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sit and we're going to do all of this on top of the scale for measuring purposes. So now that we have that on, again, 15 grams of coffee, which is going to be 240 milliliters of water, which is pretty much the same gram milliliters, pretty much the same thing. So we're going to do a 1 to 15 is going to give us 240 milliliters or grams of water is what we want to use. So we've got that in place. So now what we want to do is we want to get our coffee in. And so here we're going to take the funnel and install the funnel on top of the AeroPress. And we're going to take our 15 grams of coffee and then put it into the chamber. All right. And I just want to shake it a little bit just to get the coffee flattened inside of the chamber. And then we're going to go ahead and at this point you're going to zero out your scale. So usually what I'll do, depending on what coffee I'm brewing, I'll do for my blooming process, I'll do sometimes a 1-to-2 or 1-to-3 ratio of coffee to water for the blooming process for about maybe 30 seconds. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start our timer. And then we're going to apply, all right, so that's 49, so that'll work for me. And then at this point, we're going to take our paddle and we're going to do a quick stir. All right, and that just makes sure that all of the coffee is saturated. And so at this point, we've already had about 30 seconds since we've poured the water in. I'm just going to rinse this paddle off a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish with the brew. So we're going to go straight up to 240 grams of water. So just watching the scale. Some people kind of like to make the circular motions as if they're brewing coffee on a pour over. Sometimes it's by habit, I don't know, but what you really want to do is just to make sure that you put the correct amount of water. So we're at 220 to 41, and that works. All right, so we're going to wait just a few seconds to give it a little bit of time to saturate, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to plunge it. So at this point, we no longer need our scale. So we'll move that out of the way and then turn it off. And then here, we'll take our plunger and then install the plunger on top. You can get that on. All right. And now once your plunger is installed, obviously at this point, you're gonna AeroPress, all right? So you just apply a little bit of pressure to go ahead and get that coffee to brew out. Oh, it smells incredible. So for this particular coffee, it has tasty notes of plum, berries, red currant, and it is really good. And the reason why I chose to brew this particular coffee is because of how complex the different flavor profiles are in it. I had a friend of mine taste it, and when she drank it, she said it's the perfect dessert coffee. And I didn't really think of it because it's very fruit forward. And it's a great coffee to have in the morning for breakfast or even for dessert. So I mean, whether you like to add a little bit of sweetener or whatever or cream to it, you can drink it all by itself at dessert with a piece of, peach cobbler or whatever you want, and it complements it very well. So all right, so we're just gonna squeeze this to get this brewed down all the way. All right, and let's see if we got us a little puck action. And so here it is, the great AeroPress, and let's just see how we did on the puck. Nice and tight. Oh yeah, I like that. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty good, if I do say so myself. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sit that right here. Okay, and then we're gonna take our glass and we're gonna see. So this is what we have. All right, and it looks incredible. I mean, I've been drinking it almost every day along with the other ones. After I roast, I always obviously have to drink all three to make sure I can, taste it or if there are any differences inside of the roast. But this is where we are. So here we go. All right. So here it is. Here's that final brew, and as you can see, the color of it is incredible. Oh man. Very juicy, fruity, sweet. So where can you get this coffee? At the farmers market and by the Temecula Mall every Wednesday from 9 to 1 o'clock, where you can come, you can see me, you can get some merchandise, you can get one or all three of these coffees, which we have in the 12-ounce bags, and we also have our Coffee Curious sample bags. We have 3-ounce bags which look like this. So you have your 3 ounces of your Ethiopian, you have a 3 ounce of your Colombian, and you have a 3 ounce of your Mexican bean. This allows you to try each one of the coffees to kind of really see which one you like the most. And when you figure out which one you like the most, then guess what? You come back the next week and then you can come buy your larger bag of your desired coffee that you pick from the sample pack. So that's where we are, and that's the reasons why we aren't selling the coffee online. We want to commit to keeping our costs down for customers, which allows us to be able to purchase really high quality beans, and then obviously still be able to keep the cost relatively low or reasonable for our customers. So far, so good. The coffee's been selling incredibly. They're all super delicious, especially the Colombian and the Mexican coffee. But the Ethiopian, I think, is the eye opener for a lot of the customers because it breaks away from some of those traditional tasting notes that people have grown to know coffee to be. So again, this is Eric, Coffee, Beers, and Bowties. I'm super excited on where we are as far as our growth as a local business and just a member of the community. Thank you. I know it's been a little while since we've had a suit up and brew up, and I'm excited to be back. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long for the next brewing session, and I will jump on to brew the other 2 coffees as well. It may not be necessarily a suit up and brew up, but it'll definitely be a brew up and brew up. Okay, so thank you all for taking the time to watch this video of us brewing up our Ethiopian coffee using the AeroPress. So if you want access to this particular device, we have them available online on our website at coffeebeersandbowties.com. which those are the AeroPresses, if you can see them over my shoulder there. And then those are bow ties from the bow style. I'm thinking for the bow style, we may put together some gift boxes for the holiday that will comprise of our beard butter, our beard oil, a mug, and then a bow tie from the bow style and an AeroPress. I'm still kind of putting that idea together, but as soon as I have it ready, hopefully within the next week or so, I'll post that to our Instagram and our Twitter page. So I had to go get my hat and put it back on. I felt a little undressed without it, so just wanted to get this thing back on because it goes so well with this ensemble. So again, shout out to Stetson, the Bow Style, Barabbas, Stacy Adams, Timepiece from Movado. Again, Eric, Coffee, Beers, and Bow Ties. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next Suit Up and Brew Up.